Okay, so for today's video, we focus about to solve the equation which is a linear. So for quadratic form, we will cover that in the other video. Okay. So before that, let's take a look how the steps how to solve. So the step number one. So let's say the trigo function equals to k. So k can be positive or it also can be negative. So from that positive or negative, so we will determine its quadrant. So let's say sign positive. So maybe it is located in first or second quadrant. If the negative, maybe it's located in third or fourth quadrant. So basically, for each solution, at least we will have two different angles in this case. Okay. So we'll discuss later in the example. Okay, next, the step number 3, find the basic angle. So the basic angle, so let's say 30 degree or 60 degree, because that's the basic angle. And then sketch. So sketch. So maybe sketch will help you to find the basic angle in this case, I think. And then find the theta. Okay. We'll see how we use all this information, all these steps. Right, so look at the example 1 here. So find the value following if. Okay, so look at here. Apart from solve, we will also discuss the various types of the intervals. So the first one is positive angle. So positive angle is between 0 and 360 degree. And the second one, so in terms of radian, between 0 and 2 pi. So usually we will give in terms of pi over 2 or pi over 6, or maybe in radian itself. Okay, 0.34 or whatsoever. And then lastly, so between positive and negative, so half negative, half positive here. So we'll see how we solve if we come across that kind of situation. So let's do it. So the first question, so given sine theta equals to 1 over 2. So as you can see, the step number 1, the 1 over 2 is a positive value. Okay, so as I said in the previous slide, sine positive is located in the first and second quadrant. So we have to find out its basic angle, which is alpha. So we find the inverse sine power of negative 1 over 2. So we got 30 degrees. So this is the basic angle. So that's the location. So for the second quadrant, it would be 150 degree. Okay, so the answer would be 30 and 150 degree. And if negative positive 180, so since it is second quadrant, still less than 180, so both angles still positive, which is 30 and 150. And then lastly, for between 0 and 2 pi, so we have to convert 30 to radian, to pi, so divide by 80, so we will get pi over 6 in this case. So 450, so we just pi minus pi over 6, so we got 5 pi over 6. So we can write down the answer here. So theta equals to pi over 6 and also 5 pi over 6. So this is 5. Right. So next question, tangent theta plus 1 equals to 0. So we move 1 to the right hand side. So we notice that it is actually equals to negative 1, which is negative value. So for negative value, the quadrant would be the second and the fourth quadrant, okay, if tangent is negative. So we have to find out the basic angle. So the basic angle, remember, you have to eliminate the one, to eliminate the negative, okay, because we want to find basic angle, the less than 90 degree. So we got actually the angle is 45, okay. So sketch the graph. If it is located in the second and fourth quadrant, so for between 0 and 360, the angle would be 180 minus 45 and 360 minus 45. So basically the angle that we get is 135 and also 315 degree. Okay. So next, if the angle is negative and positive, so for second quadrant is still positive, so the theta would be still 135, but for the fourth quadrant it will be negative angle, okay, because negative angle start with the fourth quadrant, so it will be negative 45 degree. So if we rearrange according to the ascending order, so we start with negative 45 first and then 135 degree, okay. And then lastly, for between 0 and 2 pi, so we change in terms of pi. So 45 divided by 180 pi. So actually we got pi over 4. Okay, so the theta would be pi over 4. Pi over 4 is basic angle, okay. So for the second quadrant, okay, I have to erase this one first. Okay, so for the second quadrant, so pi minus pi over 4, and then for the fourth quadrant, 2 pi minus 5 over 4. So the comma, okay, so this is the other one. So the angle would be 3 over 4 pi, and then the other one would be 7 over 4 pi, okay, in terms of pi. Okay, next for question C, secant theta minus 2 equals to 0. So we change into, we bring negative 2 to the right side. So secant theta equals to 2. And then we know secant is actually 1 over cos. Okay, 1 over cos theta. 1 over cos theta. So theta below here equals to 2. So we rearrange, therefore cos theta equals to 1 over 2 actually. Okay. So cos theta is positive in this case. So for cos positive, it is in the first and the fourth quadrant. So the basic angle alpha. So inverse cos 1 over 2. So we will get 60 degree. Okay. So 60 degree, it is located on the first and the third quadrant. Okay. So for angle between 0 and 360, so the theta would be 60 degree and also 360 minus 60. So which is 60 and also 300 degree. And then between negative and positive, as I said before, the fourth quadrant will be negative angle. So the theta would be, we start with negative first. So it will be negative 60 and also positive 60. Okay. And then lastly, between 0 and 2 pi. So remember to change into pi. So 60 over 180, so we got pi over 3. So the theta here is pi over 3 and also 2 pi minus pi over 3. So 6 times 2 times 3, 6. So 6 minus 1. So we got pi over 3 and also 5 over 3 pi. Okay. So that's the answer in terms of. Right. Next for question D, cosecant theta equals to 1 over tangent 30. So, as you can see on the right hand side here, they didn't give the value directly. Instead, you have to figure out the value of tangent 30. Okay, so remember the triangle that I showed you before. So for angle 30, so tangent is 1 over sec 3. So tangent 30 is 1 over sec 3. And then on the left side, we change cosecant into 1 over sine theta. Okay. So you can see in the equation, both 1 over 1 over. So we can compare and then take the denominator on both sides. So sine theta equals to 1 over sec 3, which is the positive value, right? So since we have positive value, the angle would be located in the first and second quadrant. So to find the basic angle, so inverse sine 1 over sec 3. So remember, check the mode. Make sure the mode is in degree. If you want to find the angle in degree, so in degree it is 35.26. If you find in the radian, so if you want to find the radian, especially if the interval given between 0 and 25, I suggest you do not use the times pi over 180, but instead change the setting in your calculator. So select mode radian and then repeat the same function. So this one is in degree. So if you change the mode in radian, so you will get 0.615 radian. So the answer given above here is incorrect because they still need to multiply with pi, which is, I think, is not suitable in this case since it's already in decimal. So we just straight away overall is in radian. So just 0.615 radian for basic angle in radian. Right. So the angle, so first and second quadrant, so 35.26. So the same thing lah if you want to do in radian. So I just show for the degree. Right. So the final answer, if in degree with the positive angle, so the theta would be 35.26 degree. And then for the second quadrant, you have to subtract from 180 minus 35.26. So the other angle would be 144.74 degree. Okay. And then if between positive and negative angle, so since it's located first and second quadrant, so both first and second quadrant is positive angle, so the answer will be same as the between 0 and 360. So that is 35.26 and also 144.74 degree. While in radian, which is between 0 and 2 pi, so since above here we already find the basic angle in radian, so just write down here 0.615. And then for second quadrant, pi minus 0.615. Okay, so remember the pi in this case is 3.14 is not, and not 180, because it's already in radian. So pi minus 0.615. So for the second quadrant, we will get 2.527 radian. So that's for the angle in the second quadrant in radian. So now we move to the example 2. Let's see how the solution would change according to the changes in the function. Okay. Right. So in this question, given secant theta over 2 equals to negative sec 2. So we know secant is 1 over cos theta over 2 equals to negative sec 2. So we rearrange. So cos theta over 2 equals to negative 1 over sec 2, right? So notice here, negative means that the angle is located on the second quadrant. Why we don't consider third quadrant? Because for theta of, if theta is between 0 and 360, so theta over 2 is between 0 and 180 only. So we only consider first and second quadrant. So if cos is negative, so automatically we know it is second quadrant. So we only consider the second quadrant in this case, and not the third quadrant. Okay, so not quadrant, we don't consider. Right. So after we identify the quadrant, next we find the basic angle. So remember, for the basic angle, don't put the negative. And we already know from the triangle, remember the triangle here, the right one here, 45. So 1 sec 2. Okay, so it's actually 45 degree. So since in the third quadrant, sorry, second quadrant, so the theta over 2, remember theta over 2, not theta. So theta over 2 is 180 minus the 45, which is 135 degree, okay, in the second quadrant. So this is theta over 2. The answer needs in theta. So leave it only theta, so 135 times 2. So we got 270 degrees. So that's the answer for this case. Next, secant theta equals to negative sec 2. So as I said before, we change into 1 over cos theta. So equals to negative sec 2. So rearrange. Then we got cos theta equals to negative 1 over sec 2. Okay. And we know it is a negative. So cos negative would be in the second and third quadrant. So in this case, we consider the third quadrant because it is theta and not theta over 2 like the first example before. Okay. So before we find the angle, check the basic angle first. So the basic angle, remember, do not put the negative. So remember the triangle. So this is the right one. So 1 sec 2. So the angle is actually 45 in this case. So since the angle is in second and third quadrant, so the theta will be 180 minus 45, and the other one is 180 plus 45. So we got the answer 135 and also 225 degree. Okay, next, sin theta plus tan equals to negative sec 2. So again, we change into 1 over cos theta plus 10 degree. So equals to negative sec 2. And then rearrange. So cos theta plus 10 degree is negative 1 over sec 2. And then remember in the previous example, so for negative, the quadrant is in the second and the third quadrant. And also remember the basic angle. So the basic angle, so the inverse cos 1 over sec 2. Remember the answer is same, right, which is 45 degree, the basic angle. But now we have plus 10. So remember, left side we put theta plus 10. Okay. So on the right side still same for the second quadrant. Remember the previous answer. So I don't want to repeat the same process. So just straight away get the answer from the previous one, which is 135 and 225. Okay. So the answer is same, right? But look at the left side here, we have plus 10. So for the answer, only theta, you have to bring 10 to the right side, means that the angle we have to subtract by 10. So subtract by 10, so that's why we got 125 and 205 degree in this case. Okay, so I hope you can compare and notice the difference between question 2B and 2C. Alright, next for question D. So this time secant 2 theta. So remember the same process. So 1 over cos 2 theta equals to negative sec 2. And then remember cos 2 theta equals to negative 1 over sec 2. And then we go the same process. So since in negative, the angle is in the second and third quadrant. And then find the basic angle, inverse cos 1 over sec 2. So we got again 45 degree. And then look at here. So this time it is 2 theta. Okay. So what's different between theta? So theta, remember, between 0 and 360. Remember previously when theta over 2, so we just consider 0 and 180. So what happened for 2 theta? So for theta is actually we double the angle, which is 720. Means that not only we consider the second and the third quadrant, but also you have to add with the 360 degree, the same angle, add with 360. Okay, so means like this. Remember the angle is 135 and also 225, right? Okay, so on top of these two angles, you have to add this one by 360 and this one also by 360 to find the other two angles. So press your calculator. So 135 plus 360, so we got 495 degree. And then 225 plus 360, then we got 885 degree. Okay, so that's what we meaning by 2 theta, means that the double we have to around again one round. Okay, so instead of these two angle, we have to find another two angle, which is this one add by 360, this one also add by 360. So that's why we got 495 and also 885. Okay, and then lastly theta. So this angle we divide by 2. So press your calculator. 135 divided by 2. So change into decimal. So we got 67.5 degree. So 225 divided by 2, again change into decimal. So we got 112.5. And then 495 divided by 2, also change to decimal. So we got 247.5 degree. And then lastly 585 divided by 2, and also we change to decimal, we got 292.5. So you can check the final answer here. So it will still less than 360. Only the step here we have to consider the second round, which is we got the other these two angle. Okay, so I hope you can study this example very careful whenever you come across this situation later. Okay, so let's try again. 2 theta, and also this time we have adding another value which is minus 10 degree. Okay, so the step the earlier step is just same, so we change into 1 over cos 2 theta minus 10 degree equals to negative sec 2. So we know cos 2 theta minus 10 degree equals to negative 1 over sec 2, and then we just go through the same process. Negative means that second and third quadrant, and also we know the basic angle inverse cos 1 over sec 2 without negative, again 45 degree, and then remember this time to theta minus 10. Okay, don't forget to equate. So apart from 135 and 225, remember the previous example, we have to add another two angle. If you already forgot, it's okay, we just try to calculate again. 135 plus 360, so we got 495, and then 225 plus 360, we got 885. Okay, and then what we do first, bring 10 first or divide by 2? So actually the first thing you need to do is bring negative 10 first, so means that we have to adding the angle by 10. So this one is 145, this one 235, so this one 505, and the last one 595. Okay, so lastly then we divide by 2. So 145 divided by 2, don't forget change to decimal. So we got 72.5 degree, and then next 235 divided by 2, we got change to decimal 117.5, and then 505 divided by 2, change to decimal, so we got 252.5, and then lastly 595. So 595 divided by 2, change to decimal, so 297.5. Okay, and I forgot to mention to you, if the question have 2 theta, the final answer should have 4 angles. If only theta, so 2 angles. If theta over 2, only 1 angle. Okay, basically. Okay, I think that's all for now. So in the next lesson, we'll still learn about trigo solution, but this time we're dealing with the quadratic equation. So stay tuned for the next class. Thank you.